Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Programming with Gautam. So in the previous video we have seen about static variables. So now let's see about methods. So what is a method? Let me create a new Python file guys. Methods.py. So what is a method? Method. It is a collection of statements which perform an operation. So this operation is performed on the data that is extracted with the help of abstraction. Okay guys. So how to define these methods? Like we define functions, it is similar in the same way we can define methods also. To define methods, we use the def keyword. Okay guys. Like same way as we define functions, we can also define methods in the same way with the help of the def keyword. Okay guys. In the same way, functions can also be defined once and called multiple times. In the same way, methods can also be defined once and be called for multiple times. Methods can be defined once and called for multiple times. Okay guys, there are three different types of methods that we have, that is static methods, instance methods, and class methods. Okay guys, like functions can be defined in four ways, that is functions without arguments and without return, functions with arguments and without return, functions without arguments and with return, and functions with arguments and with return. So like functions can be defined in four different ways, that is functions without arguments and without return, functions with arguments and without return, functions without arguments and with return, functions with arguments and with return. Similarly, methods can also be defined in these ways. Methods. So now we'll see what is a static method and with static variables. So static method. So static method will perform operations on static variables. See, as I've told you, a method is a collection of statements which perform an operation, whereas static method is a part of is a subpart of method. Static methods will perform operations only on static variables. It will not perform on any other type of variables here. Okay, guys. To define a static method, we use the decorator @static method. So what is a decorator? I'll be telling you in the further videos, guys. So to define the static methods, we use the decorator called as static method decorator here. Okay guys, so how to call these static methods? To call these static methods, we use just the class name. We do not call it by the method name. We just call it with the class name. Once we call it with the class name, the static method will automatically be called. To call a static method, we use the class name. Okay, guys. So what is a static method? So the static methods will perform operations on only on static variables. And to define a static variable, we need a decorator at the rate static method. And how do we call a static method? To call a static method, we use the class name itself. Similarly, we also have instance methods. Now we'll be seeing about instance method. Instance methods. So, as we've seen, static methods will perform operations only on static variables. It is quite similar to static here. Instance methods will perform operations on instance variables. Okay, I'm just changing the words here. So, as I've told you about parameters in my previous video, instance method will take self keyword as a default parameter. So, methods will take self as default parameters. Like I've told you about the variables, guys. In variables, we had arguments or parameters. So, in that, the instance methods will take self as the default parameter. Whenever we are declaring the instance method, self should be there by default in that instance methods while declaring the instance method. Instance methods take self as default parameter. Okay, guys. To call instance methods, we use object or object reference variables. So how do we call these instance methods? To call these instance methods, we use the object or that particular object reference variable. Like to call a instance method, we use object or object reference variable. Like in static methods, we use this class name to call the static methods. In same way, in instance methods, we use the object or object reference variable to call it. Okay, guys. So we'll be seeing about how to declare the static methods, how to declare instance methods, static variables, instance variables, and all in the next video. So hope you have understood, guys. If you have understood, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Programming with Gautam. Thank you.